This is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Not 3. Unfortunately, we didn't get 3, and it honestly doesn't look like we're going to see 3 until next year, 2025. Now, personally, I was very disappointed when Apple said, now let's look at the Apple Watch Ultra 2, and that there was no 3. Although I believe this is because Apple actually canceled basically their plans 2 months beforehand for what the Apple Watch Ultra 3 was going to be, which was the micro OLED display and a bunch of other improvements. Now, there are some things I'd like to see, but with watchOS 11, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 basically got a huge upgrade and honestly has been such a great experience. Now, personally, I bought a Series 10 and then the Ultra 2 in black and compared them. And I found myself defaulting to the Ultra. Now, this is mainly because I've been an Ultra user now since the Apple Watch Ultra first came out, and I kind of found myself missing those features when I went down to the Series 10. Now, you can check out my full comparison up here, or up here, I don't remember where it is anymore, of what I found different and what really annoyed me. Why is the Apple Watch Ultra 2 a whole new watch? So if you already have one, you have blood oxygen tracking and all of those features, those are still enabled. But if you're new to the market in the United States for the Apple Watch Ultra 2, you lose out on the blood oxygen. Series 10, Series 9, basically anything sold in January of 2024 and later, you don't get the Apple Watch with blood oxygen tracking, unfortunately. So if that is a deal breaker for you, you're going to have to kind of go to the third-party market and potentially find one refurbished or on sale somewhere. This is due to an ongoing patent dispute with Massimo, and we really have not heard much else except for the fact that it is being looked into. And honestly, I can't believe Apple even released an Apple Watch without the blood oxygen feature, because personally, that is one of my complaints. But we're not here to talk about my complaints, because this is really a whole new watch. Now, yes, I do have the new black titanium color on my wrist, and it is gorgeous. It's my favorite. I can't believe it took us basically 3 years to get a black color, but we finally got a black color. It's here. That's enough for my nitpicks. Now, the Watch Ultra 2 with its S9 processor and the watchOS 11 upgrade got basically every new feature coming to the Series 10 except for the always-on display, which personally, I don't really care for the always-on secondhand. That's actually something I found myself not liking with the Series 10, was how my screen was kind of constantly like, it would be here. Like, it just felt like the watch was lagging compared to the smooth experience I'm used to, and I also didn't find a way to turn that off, but maybe there is, and maybe Apple will adjust that in the future. But as it stood right now at release, I didn't find that feature, and it really bothered me that I couldn't just turn it off. Now, the Apple Watch Ultra 2, it now has sleep apnea detection, the new Vitals app, the new training load feature. It does not miss out on anything. It even gets the sleep apnea detection that is coming to the Series 10. So personally, seeing that I really wasn't losing out on anything besides the faster chip, which Apple has basically come out and said it is the same chip, just repackaged, as well as all of the software improvements such as Vitals and Training Load and all those being brought down, has been really nice. Now, personally, I sleep track with Series 8, so I'm wearing the Series 8 to bed with blood oxygen tracking, and then when I connect my Ultra 2 in the morning, all of the data imports perfectly fine and works extremely well. Right now, I'm using the modular Ultra watch face, which has my training load on the right side and then my Vitals on the left, so I can kind of keep an eye on everything, which I really like. And the new Vitals app has just been so amazing, as personally, it allowed me to just see a lot more from my wrist. It didn't have to go into the iPhone health app and get clustered and lost like you needed to in the past. You can now just look and see how long you slept for, your wrist temperature, your blood oxygen, if you still have that feature, your heart rate, as well as your respiratory rate. And I really like this. It's something simple, and it's just there, and it just works on the Apple Watch. Another thing I really love about the Apple Watch Ultra has been the action button. I have had my action button always set to start a workout, and then precisely start the workout, so I can just click it to start the workout. This is something to me that I just found so important, because it allowed me to free up space on my watch face to have this extra kind of button that I just hit and I can start a workout, which I really like that. It's simple, it just works, and I think that's why I've kind of grown to love it. And if you move away from the Ultra, you do kind of lose that feature, as it's an Ultra exclusive. Now, this also does have L1 and L5 GPS, which is actually the only Apple Watch 2. So this L1 and L5 GPS allows the Apple Watch Ultra, when you're in kind of a populated area, like a city or something where you have all these skyscrapers, to pinpoint your GPS just to get better readings, just when you're out exercising, so you can have that truly accurate data. Now, you also get 36 hours of battery life. So not having to charge the thing every day has been amazing. And that was one of the things. The Series 10, I found myself not being able to make it through a day. But my Apple Watch Ultra 2, 3 days, no problem. I really didn't care for the Series 10. When I first saw it, I was like, all right, yeah, I guess I'm not going to upgrade my watch. But what I did find interesting, and I did end up essentially doing, was buying a Series 10 and even thought about switching over. But the second I put it on my wrist, it felt light, it felt great. It is the ultraification of the series lineup. There's no doubt about it. But a lot of the features are half-baked. So that new display I mentioned that allows you to see the seconds every second and looked like it lagged is only available on 3 watch faces, which is the Flux, Reflections, and Activity Digital. Apple basically just ignored this feature for all the other watch faces and was like, nah, we're not going to add it, which is something I find personally annoying. You can actually tell if it supports the Series 10 auto seconds by going into your smart stack. And if it has a redesigned smart stack with the clock from the watch face or the color, you'll notice that it supports it or not. Now, is the Apple Watch Ultra 2 as it stands right now my dream Apple Watch? Absolutely not. I want blood oxygen back. That's one thing. I also want it to be thinner. You know, you were able to do it with the Series 10. I think there's a way to do it with the Ultra 2 because this thing is thick. I actually can't even get my sweatshirt basically over the watch because of how thick the watch is, which personally I don't mind that it sticks out and I kind of like it just because it's easier to access my watch. But I just wish it was thinner, that it was more comfortable, and also for sleep tracking. I personally don't wear this one to sleep because of how thick it is, and it gets caught and just kind of in the way when you're sleeping, and you feel it a lot more. Because if you put a pillow on top of it or something, it really just kind of snags the watch. My next thing I think that we are going to see resolved with the Ultra 3 is going to be that larger display. Now, I mentioned earlier that Apple most likely scrapped the Ultra 3 due to the micro OLED display and all of that technology and how they had to delay it because of that, but I genuinely think the Ultra 3 is going to be larger. Now, a millimeter, 2, personally, I don't really care or know, because right now, as it stands, the Series 10 is actually bigger, although you don't realize it when you have them side by side, that one is bigger and one is not. So there's really no reason to upgrade just for the size if you want the biggest Apple Watch ever. The Ultra still looks the best and still is better in a lot of ways. But that 51 millimeter display would allow the bezels to be shrunk, because especially with the new training load feature with the bezel on the Apple Watch Ultra and the modular Ultra watch face, I've started to notice the bezels a lot more. And even I use the Photos watch face and stuff like that. You really notice how big these bezels truly are, which I find a little annoying. But overall, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 is in no way, shape, or form a bad upgrade if you're upgrading from an older Apple Watch. And if you want an Ultra and you were holding out just because, you know, it didn't really get updated, go for it, because you will not regret it. Now, do you have to go for the new color if you have the Ultra 2? No. I did because mine had a screen issue, but that was my choice. And now let me know your thoughts on this, because this is definitely an interesting upgrade cycle from Apple, and I don't think we've ever seen this with the Apple Watch, where they were just like, yeah, we're not going to touch that. Here's a new color, and that's it. And while you're down there, if you want to hit like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that as well. But I want you to remember that today's a good day to make a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.